Yeah, yeah. Y'all know how we start. Yep. I won't stop till I find my lady. It's you. Sick and tired of wondering. Yeah. Everybody, welcome. No, hit the like, subscribe, all those good things. Like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you hit the notification bell. I need to get a thing up for that anyway. But y'all know I'm still new at this. You know what I mean? Trying to make things happen. But anyway, as promised tonight. Yeah. Hold up. Rep my dogs now. Hold up. Sit in politics. Go holler at those guys over there. Once again, like I'm always say, they help me start my podcast and live stream, help me with all this good stuff. Go check them guys out. Sometime I'm over there. We try to do once a week, try to do a collab. So hopefully that starts here pretty soon. But they got big things going on over there. Also, I think they're on Instagram, which I'm gonna be on Instagram here pretty soon. But Sit in Politics, great content, all kind of different topics, react videos, music, new artists coming out, CDs dropping, all kind of different things. So anyway, check them out. Obviously, you guys know my show is sponsored by D Minds Music. We're gonna come out with some new music. Hopefully next month. I just got word. I thought it was gonna be Valentine's Day. I apologize, but anyway, gonna be next month. And that's me, Gates Open Warner Media Group. Check me out on YouTube. Got new content coming next week. Hopefully, we're gonna do some fitness things. That'll be on my YouTube channel. So yeah, y'all just check me out. Continue to stay tuned. With that being said, as promised tonight, we're gonna talk about my top 10 NBA basketball players and why. Yeah, y'all gonna think I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I got what you want to call it? A mind-boggling thing. What do I want to call it? A surprise. That's what we got. We got a surprise too. Nothing major, but one surprise that most people probably won't agree with me with. But that's okay. I'm gonna explain my reason. So anyway, we're gonna start with number 10. I'm about to get some people hot right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? So number 10 goes to Mr. LeBron James. I'm about to get cursed out. Mr. LeBron James himself. So just going into my reason why LeBron is number 10 to me. I looked at this list and I'm thinking, man, where can I put him? I can't put him above him. But he is above that person. But that person ain't in the top 10. He's not here. So anyway, my biggest thing is, so somebody said the other day, I said, I don't even think in my top 10. But then, somebody said I was pushing it. But anyway, so Mr. LeBron James. The reason is simply because the games I've seen him play, I felt like he quit some games. Even before he made that first transition to Miami from Cleveland, I felt like when they played Orlando in that finals, he quit. And then obviously going into that next season, I felt like he quit again. Once, if you guys go back and look at the tapes, at the end of the year, towards the end of the regular season, the reporters asked, because D-Wade had hit a couple of shots, big shots to win some games, and the reporters asked him, they asked Dwayne Wade, who you think should take the last shot of the game? Typically you think you would get that cliche's answer. Whoever's hot should get the best should get the last shot out of two superstars. Obviously, Dwayne Wade had already won a championship pretty much by himself. Yeah, he had Shaq, but that was a declining Shaq. So when D Wade said he thinks he should take the last shot of the game, I felt like LeBron said, "Oh, well, I'm gonna show you, sucker." And he obviously made it to the finals, but I feel like he decided to quit. They went. I think they lost in 6 games. LeBron was the 5th leading scorer behind Dirk Nowitzki, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, and Jason Terry. Come on now. You LeBron James, you supposed to be the GOAT. You supposed to be all this, you supposed to be all that. But it's like the fifth leading scorer in that series. Um, Also, if you notice, at once they finally lost, LeBron went out to give like D Wade some dap, and D Wade looked disinterested. You know, he dapped him up, but he looked really disinterested. Obviously, you're gonna say, "Oh, well, they just lost the finals." Of course, he's gonna look. No, you can. There's a different look. There's a look of, man, bro, we just lost, compared to, man, we just lost, and I think it's your fault. So I think D Wade, when he told the reporter that he should take the last shot, I think at that moment right there, he had messed up. Y'all know that the little meme to go says that's where you fucked up. I think that's exactly what happened at that time. And I think he just quit. Now, further in LeBron's career, you know, they faced the next year, they faced I think they faced Harden, a young Harden, KD, and Russell Westbrook. Now, at that same time, let me get a little water. Hold on. All right, my bad. I'm back. People say, "Oh, he beat that team." Well, if you go back and look, KD actually averaged more points than LeBron did. Russell Westbrook, we know who he is now. You know, maybe he was hiding himself for the first, 8 to 10 years of his career, but we know who he is. Turnover machine, take bad shots, can't shoot. So we know what Kevin Durant was dealing with. And I'm always the person to say the reason I believe they lasted so long together, even after James Harden left, was simply because KD was super efficient as a player. And that's the reason I believe they lasted so long. But anyway, they beat that OKC team. And then, not to mention, think about it, they had a D Wade who had already won the championship. Then they also had they had Chris Bosh, who arguably at that time was a top 10 player. D Wade and LeBron obviously were top 10 players at that time. People were saying LeBron was the best player in the league at that time. I disagree. I think Kobe was still the man. And Kobe led his team to the championship the 2 years before, 3 years before. They only won two. So with that being said, then they won against the Spurs. And if y'all remember that one correctly, we call it the Ray Allen Savior game, obviously. So what people come back and say, oh, well, Jordan had Paxson and Kerr hit big shots, da 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 da. Yes, they did. But the Bulls, if you remember, only went to 6 games. So even if the Bulls would have lost one of those games, they still had a game 7 remaining to be able to play. So they were beat. They had the confetti. They had wrapped up this thing. They had wrapped it up. So yeah, we call that the Ray Allen Savior game. Saved his career right there, so to speak. Then the next year, obviously the Spurs, like LeBron, okay, 07, I believe it was, the Spurs swept the Cavs with LeBron. Couldn't get one win, but Allen Iverson got one win against Kobe and Shaq, dominating teams. And AI had way less talent on that team than LeBron did. So I'm knocking him for all that. And then that last year they went to the finals before he went back to Cleveland. LeBron, they was getting torn. I think they went 5 games. You can't be considered the GOAT, number one, if that team goes 5 games. Tim Duncan was 714 years old. There's no way that should have went 5 games. I mean, there's no way the Spurs should have beat them, if you ask me. Yeah, they had some seasoned vet, a young Kawhi, but at the end of the day, that shouldn't have mattered. You had 3 of the best players in the league, and arguably, let's see, D Wade probably go down as a top 20, 25 player. Chris Bosh, I mean, I don't know where he'll end up, but he was a great talent. But at that time, we're talking of 3 of the top 10 players in the league are all on one team, and you got them surrounded by all kind of talent. Now, as he went back to Cleveland, he wanted to join Kyrie, and then he joined up with Kevin Love. The first year they got hurt. Kevin Love and Kyrie. The Warriors, I think, beat them in 6. Who knows who would have won that if nobody would have been hurt. But hey, that's all. That's history. But if you notice, what's his name? The narrative is LeBron makes his players better. He makes his teammates better. That wasn't seen. If you think about it, just think about it. Kevin Love was a 2010 guy his whole career in Minnesota. Come to play with LeBron, they got him as a spot up 3-point shooter. Totally changed his game. And this man has had pretty much mental issues ever since playing with LeBron. I don't know if that's the case. Was it playing with LeBron, the pressure playing with LeBron that made him have these mental issues? But one thing about it is there wasn't any word of that before. Maybe there was in the circle NBA. I'm not sure, but we never heard about it. Then obviously, they came back the next year before they were down 3-1, came back and beat the Cavs. That was amazing, regardless, I will say. But I mean, you also didn't have Draymond Green playing that third game, which he got kicked out of. Which I think was that gave them upper hand. If you look at the games right now, the Warriors are playing without Draymond Green, they look like almost a totally different team. So Draymond Green played a pivotal part, and that has played a pivotal part in that organization and helping them boys win, getting Curry the ball where he needed, Clay the ball where he needed, being a playmaker, the defensive presence that he is. It's a whole different ball game if he plays, obviously, but the Cavs won it. Then obviously the next 2 years, it wasn't even a question. KD came in there and did his thing. Then LeBron goes to the Lakers. They win the bubble championship. There's been argument, should that even count? Should that even count? Yeah, it count. Because everybody else in the league are trying to play to get that same bubble championship. Now, it's messed up because if I remember correctly, the Lakers weren't playing too well before the whole thing shut down. Then when they come back, you got 4 months off. Now, some people may say, well, some people was telling me, LeBron won't never get hurt. He ain't gonna get hurt. That's not likely. Da 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 da. Well, he's gotten hurt almost every year. Matter of fact, every year, even the first year, he got hurt, and he didn't get hurt the bubble year, I don't believe. But he had 4 months off, so time to heal for his body to heal. I mean, now he's 37, so at that time he was like 35, so 34, 35, somewhere around there. So you can't tell me the man can't get injured. Also in that finals, if you go back and look at the tape, I think that's when they played the Miami Heat. AD was on the ground. He came up and backhand. Was it Crowder? Hit him right in the face. Pop. Closed fist and everything. He didn't get suspended one game. He didn't get kicked out of that one game. And I've always said that man was supposed to be suspended that next game. But anyway, they end up beating the Heat. I think if he gets kicked out, that might even go to 7 games. Then you never know what could happen. Somebody could get hurt. They can't. And AD stay hurt. LeBron is currently staying hurt. He's already talking about his knee right now. I'm not saying his knee doesn't hurt, but I am saying that is a possibility. And I want to see everybody at full strength when they play. So I said all that to say that is why I got LeBron at 10th. This year, they wanted Russell Westbrook. They got Russell Westbrook, and LeBron's trying to demand a trade and basically, allegedly, try to get him out of there after they already had a deal for Buddy Hield at the beginning of the season, but they didn't get him because LeBron and AD wanted Russ. And they got Russ. And now Pelinka, allegedly, they're saying, look, this is the bed you made, y'all got to lay in it. You know what I mean? So all that movement, I'm not saying LeBron's a great player. And let's get this down too. LeBron can play in any era, no matter what. I mean, because you would have had to adjust to the rules. You would have had to you would grow up differently. You know what I mean? Yes, he flops like some flapjacks, but you would grow up differently. So yes, LeBron would be able to play in any area. That's in the era. That's crazy to say he couldn't. So Our number 9 player. I don't think this player is on anybody list top 10. But I'm gonna say it, Julius Irving, number 9 on my list. Um, the impact he had in the ABA, um, the to be able to call yourself the doctor. I looked at that man highlights um for years, and he was off the chain. He was absolutely off the chain. Won all these dunk contests in the ABA. Dr. J was the man back in the day, playing in the ABA. Now, when they merged over and had the NBA and the ABA together, I mean, when he came to the NBA, I'm sorry, um, he was a little older at that point, lost the step, all this stuff here. I think they won the championship in 86 or somewhere around there, 85, 86, 83, somewhere around there. Maybe he retired in 86. I'm not sure the number, but Dr. J was the man. There was a lot of people trying to be like Dr. J back then. But for some reason throughout history, we've lost Dr. J in the whole mix. That's why I think Dr. J was a trendsetter. He kept the ABA alive when he was there, while Bird and Magic was over here keeping the NBA alive. So without Dr. J, I don't think the ABA would have lasted as long. Now, honestly, they didn't have many. I think the team started dwindling down also. So he got kind of that effect of Bill Russell, where you didn't have that much competition because you didn't have so many teams. That's why it's also difficult to put him high on the list, because it's the ABA, not the NBA. And, the level of competition kind of falls off when you don't have a variety of players to play against. So with that being said, we're going to go down to number 8, Bill Russell. 17 minutes. Bill Russell, man, it's hard to really place Bill Russell, in my opinion. I didn't see him play, obviously, but this man has 11 titles, I believe it is. I mean, I never go by titles, but if you go by titles, obviously he the GOAT. But Bill Russell, like, he was playing in the 50s. He actually really changed the game. He put black folks on the pedestal. Playing the game. Then you're playing during the civil rights movement. I mean, Bill, it's hard to keep him off there, but it's hard to kind of rank him higher, simply because there wasn't that many teams in the league back then. I believe there was excuse me, I believe there was 8 teams in the league. And once again, the competition is what hurts it. Obviously, I've never seen him play live. I, try to go back and look at the highlights, and he was a monster. I mean, he was stopping what's his name? Wilt. Wilt couldn't do nothing with him, you know what I mean? At the time, and Wilt was bigger than him, taller than him. But Bill Russell knew his place. Bill Russell was awesome on the defensive end, the boards and everything like that. I don't think he was a big scorer, like some of these other players that are on the list. But Bill Russell's, he has to be on that list, and maybe he could be higher on the list. It's just maybe my ignorance. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he has to be on the list, and I believe he has to be above LeBron, simply because of the toughness, the grit, and how he played based off the videos I've seen. So with that being said, we're gonna move on to number 7. Number 7, man, this was tough for me. This was tough, but I'm going out with Hakeem. Hakeem Olajuwon, to me, was the greatest center I ever seen play. I'm not saying he was better than Kareem. I'm just saying he was the greatest center I ever seen play. And I seen him dominate a young Shaq. Yeah, we can say he wasn't Shaq wasn't in year 1 or 2. Shaq was in year Shaq came in the league in 92 when the Dream Team came in. So they played him in 95, I believe. And he had Penny Hardaway. So Shaq was in year 3 or 4. When he played Kareem. Kareem made him look like chicken soup. Like Shaq always talk about what he be saying? Barbecue chicken. That's what Kareem made him look like. So Kareem, I mean, he had everything. He had the dream shake. He had a little mid range jumper. He take you down low, post you up. Kareem had everything. Pass. Um, it- yeah. So Kareem to me was the greatest center I ever seen play. My personal opinion. Now we go to number six. We go to number six. We got Bean. We got Bean at number six. Um, and that's Kobe Bryant. Obviously, if you don't know who Bean is, Kobe Bryant, I put him at number six. Um, because he was really, I mean, his work ethic is number one above everybody. But I put him at number six just because he just like, if you ever want to see somebody model something after somebody, he modeled himself after MJ. Yes, he had more a better skill set, so to speak, than MJ, but Kobe modeled himself after MJ because everybody wanted to be Mike. Sometimes I dream that he is me. You know what I mean? But for real, um, and Kobe, you know, you hear all these players talking. Oh man, we was at the Dream Team and or the Olympics, and Kobe be like, "Hey, meet me down here at 4 o'clock in the morning." Kobe down there done had a drenched in sweat, done played, worked out, and everything. Then he gonna go but bust your behind. You know what I mean? So Kobe to me, I gotta put him at number six. He won with Shaq. And people say, oh, well, Shaq was the best player on that team because Shaq got the MVPs. But you must remember, Kobe helped carry that team too. I think after the first championship, and maybe the second, but that third championship, they were equal. They were probably equal at that point. Um, so yes, Shaq ended up getting the MVP, but they probably were equal at that point. And then, I mean, the man came back. They and then he went to three more championships. They only won two. So Cole, you know what I mean? I think he got the most misses in NBA history too. And another thing about Cole, reason I don't, it's hard for me to put him higher, is because Kobe, when I used to see him play and shoot, I'm like, that's a terrible. Oh Lord, he made it. So think about Steph Curry and think about Cole. Cole was like almost like a Steph Curry until they figured out Kobe was making them. Until they figured out Curry was making them. Oh, don't shoot the three from Chicago, and we playing in New York. And then bam, he hit them things. Then bam, he hit them. Bam, he hit them. So you can't call it luck anymore. And Cole was the same way. When I used to see, what is that? Oh Lord, he made it. You know what I mean? So when you're talking Cole used to make crazy shots. But then sometimes those crazy shots just went against him. Um, so and then like people say Jordan was a ball hog. Like Kobe at times, with all due respect, Kobe at times like literally was a ball hog. Like literally. And I'm pretty sure at times Jordan was too. But not nowhere close to how Kobe did it. So we're gonna step down to number 5, right? Number 5, I gotta put Wilt. Wilt the still. You know what I'm saying? I put Wilt. Obviously, Wilt and Russ used to battle. Bill Russell used to battle some, but I put Wilt above him because he had more of an offensive game. I mean, he scored 100 points in the game. Let's be serious. He had like 3 or 4 times he scored 73 points in the game. I think he scored 79 or something else in the game. Something ridiculous. Like this man said that people once he was scoring so much, people said that he couldn't play defense or rebound, so he said he stopped scoring because he wanted to. Not only that, I mean, I try to keep it about basketball. This man went and played volleyball, like one of the best in the world at volleyball. So Wilt Chamberlain, I think uh, he did so much he could do. I don't know what he couldn't do, to be honest. From the highlights I've seen, from the interviews I've heard, Wilt almost could do everything. Obviously he wasn't shooting. They didn't have a 3-point line then, but he wasn't shooting from deep and different things like that. But I think Wilt actually probably need to get more notoriety notoriety for the actual GOAT, to be honest. Um, so moving on from Wilt to Bird. I'm just putting them together. Bird and Magic, 3 and 4. However you want to interchange them, I don't know. But both of these guys saved the NBA. They saved the NBA. I mean, Magic went. How many? I think he went to 9 finals, won 5 of them, played 13 years, something like that. Bird. I mean, that rivalry just made those teams both now legendary. The Lakers, well, both of them were already legendary. I mean, you think about it, both teams was already legendary, but Magic and Bird kept that fire going. I mean, you think Magic, you think Bird. That's just how you think about it. You think Bird, you think Magic. I mean, uh, so I think they're just interchangeable. You can't have one without the other. You can't write NBA history without one of those guys. No way in hell. You can't write NBA history without one of those guys. And people say at one point they thought they thought Magic was the GOAT or was at one point the best player in the league. Same thing with Bird. I mean, some of the stories I hear about Bird was slow, but Bird will tell you what he gonna do. Gary Payton said it. Hey, young boy, I'm gonna take you over here on this block. I'm gonna do this, and do it. Bird played the game second half left-handed. Come on, man. And then you had Magic with the Showtime Lakers. Like the passes you seen this guy make, stupid. Hold up. Uh-oh. The passes you seen this guy make, got to be more careful, boy. I tell you. Oh my God! You watch his YouTube, and you just like bang bang boogie. That's what he used to do to him. Bang bang boogie. You know what I mean? Like Magic was, and then another thing that gets me. They said that LeBron passed like Magic. No, he don't pass nowhere close, clean, clear, nowhere half as good as Magic. I mean, yes, he makes some good passes. Don't get me wrong. What NBA player doesn't? Yes, he can see the floor better than the average player, but let's be real. Go look at now. If you want to say Jason Kidd or something, he passed more like Magic, yeah. But if you want to go compare Magic to LeBron in passing, y'all done lost y'all mind. That's not even an argument. That's not even in the conversation. You know what I mean? There's no way LeBron passed just as good as Magic. But LeBron make a basic pass. I ain't trying to get on LeBron. But they hype this man up like crazy on basic, simple basketball fundamentals. But Bird and Magic, I think 3 and 4. However you want to put them, I don't think it really matters. They carried the league for a good solid 10 years. And I think at the end of the day, however you want to mix them up. So that's 4 and 3. So obviously we're gonna go down to number 2. And I don't know who I got to. What the? I ain't finished my list. Who I got for number 2, y'all? I'm just playing. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Lou Alcindor. You know what I mean? Kareem number 2. Kareem was doing this thing in high school, college, and the pros. Kareem was doing it. Got the most points in NBA history. Iconic shot that was next to unblockable. Nobody in NBA history has been able to repeat that shot. Nobody. Yeah, you'll see somebody out there playing around. You'll see a JaVale McGee or somebody just trying to do a sky hook. Nobody in the history of the game that I'm aware of has been able to duplicate that to the point that he was able to duplicate it, and he could shoot free throws. Come on, man! But I it's hard for me, and people are like, well, why he can't be the GOAT? Why he ain't over Jordan? Well, as a center, this man never won Defensive Player of the Year. This guy never won the Defensive Player of the Year award, which was really shocking. So what does that say? Was he Pippen? Y'all want to give Pippen all this love? Say, Pippen was better than Jordan. But anyway, Kareem never won Defensive Player of the Year award. He was all defensive first team 5 times. I know y'all can't see that. 5 times. 5. So how big was his presence on the defensive end? You know what I mean? Y'all, everybody want to say he was the GOAT, especially when they hate on Jordan and they just want to throw out Kareem. Definitely Kareem was a great player. Played 22 years or 20, however long it was in the league. Most points all time. Did it in high school, college, and the pro. But where was his defense? I mean, 5-time defensive player? 5? And he played 20 years in the league, and he only got 5 first team all defense first team. Scotty had 8. Tim Duncan had 8. Kobe had 9. Chris Paul even got 7. Y'all need to stop it. I ain't gonna disrespect that man, but iconic shot. I think Wilt blocked it like twice. That's crazy because Wilt played against Russell and Kareem. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure he played against both of them. That's crazy. Just thought about that. And obviously, as we move on, my number 1 pick is Jordan. You know what I mean? Jordan, Defensive Player of the Year award. They used to say, "Oh, what can he do on defense?" Go out and win the Defensive Player of the Year award. Oh, well, Jordan's a ball hawk. Well, in 88, I think it was 88, 89, somewhere around there, Jordan, they put him at point guard. Man averaged a triple-double, had a triple-double 12 out of 13 games. Come on, man. Put some respect on his name. He won on every level. Think about it. This man played ball when the 3-point, and a lot of people, LeBron got all these points. Jordan only hit 700 and something threes. Larry Bird only hit 600 and something threes. LeBron James has hit over 2,000 threes, I think, at this point. And then they're saying, like, even with the little record he broke with most points overall playoffs and the regular season, how many threes did Kareem hit? How many threes did Kareem hit? 0. Probably majority of the time he was in the league, they didn't even have a 3-point line. I'm not sure that stat, but still, how many threes he hit? So they did that off the 2-pointer. They did that off of 2s. You guys got to put that in perspective. You just can't say, "Oh, well, he was the great. He got the most points, and he's the GOAT." I mean, yeah, he's going to end up with the most points unless something tragic happened, which I pray it doesn't. But you got to take that 2-pointer in thought. Then Jordan retired. No matter what you think about him retiring, no matter the reason you think he retired, it doesn't matter. Jordan retired a year and a half, well, a little over a year and a half, came back, obviously, still doing his thing. So think about 1 year, his second year in the league, he broke his ankle. So so that's where you're going to talk about the durability with LeBron, which is great. But Jordan broke his ankle, played 18 games that season. Another thing people want to mess up the narrative is, Jordan couldn't get past the first round in the playoffs for like 3 seasons. Well, LeBron didn't even make it to the playoffs the first 2 seasons in the league. Jordan went to the playoffs every single year he was with the Chicago Bulls. No, he didn't make it with the Wizards, but they were on key to making it. And then he hurt his knee. Jordan hurt his knee. One of those 2 years they was going to make the playoffs. Jordan hurt his knee, whatever. But every year he was with the Bulls, he played. They made it to the playoffs. Also, it's been known he was riding around or playing with the traveling cocaine circus, whatever they called them boys back then. Think about it. You're another 19, 20-year-old kid coming into the league, and now you got a bunch of cokeheads over here you got to play with. Come on, man. Come on. What are you supposed to do with that? Most of y'all can't name one player on those teams. without Google. And then they had Orlando Warwick, which was supposed to be something, but he was one of them cokeheads, allegedly. Allegedly. Then they got I think they had Iceman on one of them teams, but he was up in age. What was he gonna do at that point? You know what I'm saying? So Jordan, if he wouldn't have broke that ankle and retired twice, do you know what kind of that's like really looking at Barry Sanders. Look at Barry Sanders. He played, I think, 10 years in the league, had all these rushing yards. He would have killed that record. I think Emmitt Smith would have retired when he was supposed to, because that record wouldn't have been achievable if Barry Sanders was still in the league. It's the same thing with Jordan. That Jordan would have murdered that record if he didn't retire. I did the numbers by average. It wasn't even close. Broke his ankle, retired basically 2 seasons, came back 72-10, won 3 chips, then he retired again. And then, matter of fact, that year that y'all watched The Last Dance, it was a 50 game season. I believe they would have won it then. You could have said Jordan was old, they wouldn't have won. Yeah, they would have beat them Spurs. Matter of fact, they would have, and Dennis Rodman would have been pissed off even more, because the Spurs, the one who wouldn't let him do nothing, and that's how he ended up on the Bulls, because he was with the Spurs, and they ended up trading him or cutting him or whatever the case may be. He didn't want to perform for them. I remember he took his shoes off on the bench and he landed on the floor. So I think Dennis Rodman would have been extra. At that time, Tim Duncan was a rookie. It ate his lunch. I mean, you still had David Robinson. David Robinson was still going pretty strong. I think he played to 2005. So you still had David Robinson. And then the Bulls would have ate them up. A 50 game season, I believe the Bulls would have won that championship. Now, when they went against the Lakers, if Jordan wouldn't have retired, and if they would have went against the Lakers the next season, I think that would have been questionable, because I don't know by that time what they would have been able to do with Shaq. I'm not at that point. I wouldn't be too worried about Kobe, because Kobe didn't have the super duper effect as he did the next 2 years. But I don't know. That would have been a 50-50 with me. So there it goes. That's my top 10. Counting down from 10, I got LeBron James. 9, I got Julius Erving. 8, I got Bill Russell. 7, I got Hakeem Olajuwon. 6, I got Kobe. 5, Wilt Chamberlain. 4, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. 4 and 3, those are interchangeable. 2, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 1, Michael Jordan. Now here's the bonus. Here's the bonus. Now let's talk KD a little bit. I think KD will probably end up in that top 10. The problem with KD is, to be honest, he gets a lot of injuries. He's injury prone, but he's not like AD injury prone. He's injury prone, but it's always something big, to be honest. AD, I hurt my wrist. You know what I mean? It's dumb stuff while he's injury prone. So at the end of the day, KD, based on his health, will end up in this top 10 somewhere. I can't tell you who's going to get booted out. I know I got Bron at 10, but I'm not saying LeBron's going to get booted out. Somebody going to have to get out that top 10 if KD continues the path that he's on. He probably got another good 5 years left. Prime years probably 3 or 4. I don't know how old KD is though. Probably around 32 or so. Let me see this right quick. See how old KD is. The age 33 years old. When is his birthday? September 29th. So he'll be 34. He'll be 34 going into next season. So 5. Well, I'll give him 3 more years. 3 more solid years to 37. And then He'll be on that downhill slump if he continues to play. But I think he'll end up in that top 10 somewhere. Now here's my kicker. Steph Curry, he's not in my top 10, right? But if I was to start a draft and I can pick any player I want, obviously first is going to be MJ. That's number one. But my second player I'm going to pick is Steph Curry all day. And then some of y'all going to say, boy, you crazy. That's dumb, da-da-da-da-da. But the thing about Steph is he really spreads the floor. He's going to draw you out. You got to guard this man beyond the 3-point line, literally. Whether he's hitting or not, that's the thing. He can be cold as ice, but you're going to respect his J. Wait, and then you're going to say he's a defensive liability. Probably, but that can be covered up. I believe on a good defensive team, that can be covered up. But the way this man changed the game, that's why he might end up in this top 10 just because it's hard to guard a guy that far out. And he's not like Reggie Miller, just spot up shooting this thing, coming off a pick, spot up. He'll break you down. And then he don't have to take the three. Sometimes he take the two. Sometimes he take the layup. And that's the misconception, because if he's always going to take the take the three, then you just sit on it. But the fact that he will drive by you, get in the lane, dish it, kick it, shoot the little floater, wherever, pull up for a two, it makes it so difficult to guard. That's a nightmare. You can't go around screen. Go in front of the screen. You gotta hustle. You gotta hustle. Then he's always moving. The man is dynamic. That's why I'm always taking Jordan first. But my next pick, and I know nobody else is gonna pick him. If we had a little thing going on, nobody else is gonna pick Curry 2. They ain't gonna pick him 1. They ain't gonna pick him 2. They gonna be going for size, this, that, and the other. Nope, I'm going for Steph. I'm going straight for Steph Curry. You know what I mean? Because he's so dynamic on the offensive end, even if he's not making shots, that he's gonna put your defense in a terrible position. And then you got to guard Jordan. Come on, man, please. I'm telling you that's so. But no, Curry's not in my top 10. But I'm telling you, if I'm picking Curry second. Got to be more careful, boy. I tell you, bang bang boogie. Hey, I'm picking that man second. You know what I'm saying? Picking him second.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
And hey, it's on tape. You know what I'm saying? I can't take it off tape. It's here. Unless somebody can change my mind, I'm sticking with my answers. I said it, and I'm sticking to it. Know what I mean? I'm sticking to it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Hey, man, y'all check me out at Gates Open Water Media Group over there at YouTube. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the message. Help me grow this channel. I think I'm at like 40 subscribers. You know what I mean? It's all good, but we are bringing more content. Trust that. That's one thing. We are bringing more content. Trying to hopefully get this fitness thing going next week. So any of y'all out there looking for fitness advice, I got a little chunk on me right now, but I'm about to wear that out. That's about to go. So with that being said, man, you know how we end this thing. We end this thing on a 5-minute song from BAM, the sponsor of the show, D-Mize Music. Here we go. Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah.
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 Been waiting a while.
That's it.
Been through
Yeah.
a lot. For this moment right here.
Yeah. What you do to your hair, woman?
Yeah. It's for the girls. Listen.
Lady, I'm ready.
go by now. Wife just walked by. She don't want nobody to see her hair. She just colored her hair. Oh. I won't stop till I find my lady. Is she you? Sick and tired of wondering, is my special lady waiting? Hey, I just got word. Let's see. For a love that's true, no way to go down, no playing around. Yeah. There is no prenup, just affectionate commitment. If you're out there listening, I'm calling you, girl. So I'm looking for love. Said I'm searching for love. Next month. I need a love till I'm finished. I won't stop till I find my lady. It's you. In and out relationships, left with memories past tense. Yeah. So what do I do? I'm holding on. Now I let them go. I've searched the world over. Yeah, she's still undiscovered. I refuse to quit now. In my vows. I'm ready for love. Said I'm searching. Have you seen her? Have you seen my baby? I'm ready for love. I need a love that's like something. Hold on. I need a love, I need a love, need a love. I'm gonna find my lady. That's me. That's the need of love, baby. That's the need of Hey man, y'all go check out the full show, man, on YouTube. It's about to be up there in about maybe 5-10 minutes. Music by D-Mines, sponsored by D-Mines, you know what I mean? D-Mines Music. Y'all check me out here. Gates Open Warner Media Group. Gates Open Warner Media Group. I would make it shorter, but I like it. Gates Open Warner Media Group. Y'all check me out, man, on YouTube. Help me get those subscribers up. Don't forget about my boys over there, Sitting Politics. It's another podcast sometime I'll be on. They're doing big things over there. A whole host of different things, topics. But check them out. See if you like what they're talking about. Once again, I'm over there sometime too. But for right now, check me out as well, man. With that being said, As soon as this song up, we out. Hey, the like button don't cost no money, man. Hit the like for me, man. Please share this. Share this. Let them know. And we gonna bring more content coming really soon. More than sports talk. The next thing we're gonna introduce is fitness. You know what I'm saying? I got some chunk here I gotta get rid of. So y'all gonna hold me accountable. Yeah. All right, I'm out. Y'all be